to lead on with love. I'm sorry I'm being a little bit distracted at the moment. Spirit is definitely in the room. You can see the haze and the smoke, and they are flying around. I've had a few of them before I turned the camera on, quite large, and stop right beside me, go over top of me. So I do apologize for being a little bit distracted. I just feel incredibly blessed. Today I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about clearing our space and clearing negativity. There is so much that we don't know, and that we may have forgotten, or we may have not been told. This is the way I like to do things, and some people are unaware of what's the best way to do things. So I'm going to say you need to choose what's best for you. What method works great. I do have a few. I may not have everything, but I do have a few here that I personally use. So I'm going to share with you. Most common that we do know is sage. I have one that is already burnt, that I have used in my home and on others. That's just one way. There is also cedar that you can add to that, rose petals, lavender, you name it. The other thing I sometimes like to do for clearing, and I quite like it a lot, is Palo Santo. This is a very sacred wood. It cleanses. The one thing I should have mentioned about sage, because you can also get it this way, I do apologize, is the one thing I will say about sage: if you burn it all on its own, it removes everything. It clears the good and the bad, however you want to put it, or the positive and the not so positive. So sage, if I do sage, it has to be that I feel, that something very heavy. Sometimes too, it's the best thing to grab because it's the easiest thing to grab. It's readily available. But you can get sticks done with yerba santos, sage and cedar, sage and lavender. I'm drawing a blank. Sweetgrass is another one that I do have. Unfortunately, I don't have it out with me, but I also make my own smudge mix. So hopefully you guys can see that. And there is sweetgrass in here. When I make this, I literally go and feel what it is that I'm feeling to put in this mix. So here's a little piece of sweetgrass that you can see. So I apologize that it's so tiny. I should have brought out the braid. So what I normally do when I do make my own smudge mix, it's whatever I feel geared to. So I normally have mug's worth, because sometimes I'm not seeing things clearly, or I'm not dreaming. Mug's worth helps you dream. It helps you kind of settle the mind and dream. If you can see, there's pieces of sage in it. I have mug's worth in here. I have cedar wood in here. I have lavender, and it's a little bit hard to pull apart now because it's all well mixed. And then I also have tiny pieces of resin in here. I often as well will put in juniper berries or black pepper, just depending on how I feel. Cinnamon stick I will take and I will kind of break it up. It's really and truly how I really feel at the moment. If you look there, that's a piece of cinnamon stick, and I think mug's worth and sweetgrass all stuck together. But It really and truly is how I'm feeling and what I feel is the best mix for myself at that point in time. This might be a little bit hard for you to see. It's because of my wonderful long nails, but if you see that little piece there, that's actually sandalwood. So I am, mixing it up. I'm actually going based on spirit to see how I feel. I also even have pieces of Palo Santo in there. And sometimes I'll put frankincense and myrrh in here. It really truly depends on how I'm feeling when I create my mix. There is sacred tobacco. So I'm going to say to you, you can create your own smudge mix. The way that you use your smudge mix now is that you need the charcoal that they sell at the convenience store or at the smoke shops. They will have it. You just ask for the charcoal and you'll get it. And then what you do is light the charcoal and put some of that mix on top of it and let it burn so that you have smoke. With that, you don't have to burn something after. When you burn sage, because it clears everything, you need to replenish. You need to bring something back in. So whether that means you go with a Palo Santo stick or with your own smudge mix, you don't need to do that. Or you burn some cedar with it, or lavender, rose petals, something. The other way you can clear as well is incense sticks. I love incense sticks, especially too when I am trying to replenish something. I am actually going to go light the incense sticks now because it smells lovely. If I can get the lighter to work. There we go. And there's old wise tales. Some people believe you shouldn't blow out an incense. Some people are okay with blowing out an incense. I personally fan it so that clears. But I wanted to give you guys a bit of an array of a way to clear and cleanse and kind of know how to. With the smudge mix that we talked about, you need to use a fireproof container so that you don't have to worry that it's gonna burn because you put the charcoal in. If you look at my fireproof container, just give me a second. There is some ash from previous times, and I'm getting to the point where I think I need to dump it out, but the charcoal will sit on top of that, and that ash actually helps keep it less hot on the bottom, I find personally. The other way people use sage and other things as well is you have a pretty shell. So your shell collects all of the dust, or the ash, I should say, not dust. You have a pretty shell, and this is the water element. So the smudge or sage or smudge mix, whatever, or incense, is the fire element. This is your water element. And also remember your sage too also is earth element because it needs to grow in the ground. And what I have, and some people do as well, you can use a single feather. You can use a wing. I don't know if you can see that well. You can use a wing. This is actually my favorite smudge tool for moving the smudge, the smoke, or what you need to. It's actually my favorite. It is actually a wing, a complete wing. There was a time where I had moved and I didn't have that. It was packed away and it was put away into storage, so I had missed it a lot. So someone I knew I said, because she's very much into native culture. And I had asked her, I said, oh, is there any way that you can, do a wing for me or get a wing for me? So she couldn't provide me with a wing. So what she did was create a wing, so to speak. So it's a bunch of feathers that she put together, and then she bounded it with a piece of leather. So it is very sacred as well. I am, though, partial to the actual wing. I think it's the most sacred and most beautiful thing. God rest the soul of this animal that has passed, but we all know that it is spirit. You may see some smoke moving in because of the incense that I lit. I've had to kind of keep everything close by, but this is my favorite tool to use when trying to move the smoke. So there you have it, where smudge is concerned. There's a couple of ways that you can do it. Most of us don't live just on one floor in a house. We may live on different floors. So for me, what I always do is start at the back of the house, the furthest corner from the door, and move the smoke in the direction of going counterclockwise to remove anything. When you're trying to impart, you move clockwise. This is what I've been told. And the other thing that I do when I'm smudging, I always say, please clear all negativity that no longer serves me, and please replace it with divine light and love. So at the end of the day, that's what I do. So I normally say, okay, please clear all that negativity that no longer serves me. Hopefully that gives you plenty of information. If you do need anything more and I can help you, either leave a comment or you can email me at leadonwithlove@gmail.com. You can message me on Instagram, and you can follow me there as well at leadonwithlove. And for those of you that liked the video, you can like, share, or subscribe to Lead On With Love. Please don't forget to share with your friends. Again, this is my way. This is what I feel works for me. So what works for you may not work for someone else, and vice versa. What works for me may not work for you. But that's the way I choose to smudge. I hope it was informative. I hope it will, bring some clarity to what you're doing. And we will see you again at some point this week. And light and love, blessings to you. Keep yourself in a high vibration. The only way we can go is up. And remember, impermanence. Nothing stays the same. Things change. Have a good night. We'll talk to you again. Bye for now.